Next question from Dartfield. Big fan. You always bring it to win or lose. Thank you. I appreciate that. How much of a temptation is to start brawling once you get tagged by a good opponent? In my opinion, UFC record should be a lot better between the ref mistakes, questionable judging, and silly no contest. I'm sure you have years of fight left in your career. What's currently driving you more as far as motivation? Thank you. I appreciate that. It doesn't take much for me to put on a show and start not necessarily brawling, but just letting my hands go. You know, that's the kind of fighter I am, and I think that's why a lot of fans like to see me fight, because I don't like to just, wrestle and do none of that. It's definitely looking for a knockout, or hopefully, I always look for the knockout, or either I get knocked out or they knock me out, or I knock them out. So whatever happens in the cage is usually what I like to put on a good fight for the fans, and definitely the UFC loves that also, so I always get love for the type of fighter I am, and it's definitely that Hispanic Mexican side of me definitely like to fight. And as far as what motivates me are my kids. I have a 4-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter who, I am a single father, so it's hard to manage my kids and my career, so I gotta make sure I have time for both. So training, when it's fight time, training comes first, and then when it's not training, it's spending time with my kids and my girlfriend, and trying to be a good father in my personal side. I like to try to keep it private, because the kids' moms are kind of, can be a little dramatic sometimes. So I definitely father first. Fighting, makes me happy. Training makes me happy, and being with my kids makes me happy. Next question. My win against from 315 315 MMA fighter. Sup, brother? Your win against Roop was, how did it feel to fight a very tall opponent? And what was my effective weapon against Roop? Well, definitely like fighting taller fighters, because I like those overhand rights. I feel like the taller guys always drop their hands, or don't see my overhands coming. I have a long reach for my size, so that it definitely helps fighting taller guys. And I think Roop had a hard time with my hands and the power, and being able to catch him was pretty easy, because he's so long, and I don't think he didn't have the speed to counter what I had for him. Next question from Jail 6. What do you do for fun when you're not training? And have I watched any of the Tachi Palace fights? Yeah, I always watch. I'm a fan of up and comers. I always watch the small shows, Tachi, World Series, King of the Cage. We have fighters who fight for other organizations. So I definitely am an MMA fan and fight fan. And what I do for fun when I'm not training is spend time with my kids, or when I'm just myself and my girlfriend. We do the beach thing. We do our little snorkeling stuff, beach stuff, hiking, and or definitely spend time with my kids and take them out to their Disneyland and stuff like that. I'm 34 now, so as I'm older now, I like to just hang out and do the fun stuff that I didn't get to do when I was younger, or my parents didn't get to do for me. Next question from Lago Fala. How did you get to start in MMA, and who are your favorite fighters? I got started after my football career, and I played junior college football out here in Southern California. And then after that, I was always athletic. I ran track, played football since I was 6 years old. Recreational basketball, recreational soccer, but football was my sport. Football and baseball growing up was the only sports I've ever played. So, when I got to high school, football was my everything. And then after that, I kind of just didn't know what else to do. So I found MMA by accident, and ended up taking some Muay Thai classes and boxing classes, and ended up being really good at it. And that's how I got started, just by accident. A promoter asked me if I wanted to take a fight for like $900, and I said, okay, I don't mind $900, and extra cash, and I ended up knocking the guy out in like 30 seconds, and that's how it started. And my favorite fighters, John Jones, Jose Aldo, any of the good strikers that you see, Anthony Johnson, all the guys that love to bang and fight. Those are the type of fighters that I love to watch and are my favorite. Next question from Paladin. Good luck with the upcoming fight. Thank you. Question regarding the recent IV bans. I'm really curious how USADA would know if you took a fifth ml IV. I have no idea how they would know. I don't know how they would test, but they have came and tested me at my home early in the morning. Blood test, piss test. So you never know what the tests come back. I just make sure I take everything that I'm supposed to take, and not anything that's banned, because I don't know how they test or what they test. So there's a list, and just don't do what's on the list, and you'll be good. Next question from Hi Scott Newman. Who would my dream opponent be if I could pick any fighter in history and weight class? Definitely, man. I don't know. Oh man, that's a tough one. I would definitely like to fight Jose Aldo. He's because he's a striker. He's been a champion for so long, and I'm definitely a fan of his fighting style. So I wouldn't mind trying to fight him or wanting to fight him in a dream fight. Next question from Crewman. Any hobbies, movies, TV shows? And you're a great fighter to watch. Thank you. Movies. I love movies. I have all kinds. I love kid movies. I love old school movies. I love older gangster movies that grew up watching with my uncles and stuff, like American Me, Blood In, Blood Out, Boulevard Nights. Anybody who knows those, let me know where I can get them, because I'm trying to find them besides online or at a store, and I can't seem to find them. Let's see, next question.